Hey guys, welcome to an actual video. Hopefully I'm going to be able to just try and explain to you what that is and what that is and where I've been. It is the 28th of January today, and I think the last time I made a video was about the 18th of December. So yeah, there's about a month where I haven't done anything. I've done quite a lot of work to this bike. I've also obtained this bike and got rid of the hire bike, so I'm going to explain, sort of catch you up, give 10 minutes and just sort of explain where we are, because well, you'll find out anyway. Right, so yeah, I had a crash on this. Wasn't really much of a crash. Basically, some guy just pulled out on me from the other side of the road, hit the side of my bike, hit the lever off, bent that, snapped the indicator, but that's literally all he did. So I had a hire bike, and you might have seen the video of me riding the YBR. Now, that bike was working fine when I had the hire bike, and I liked having two bikes. So I thought, do you know what, once I get rid of this hire bike, I need to get a second bike. And some of you may have noticed on my last video, I did say, I'm going to be getting a second bike, guess what it is? And a few of you guessed, and some of it sort of pointed out that I was going to get a DT. Those of you who know your bikes, this ain't a DT. It's an Aprilia MX125, 2007. Well, it's 2006, registered in 2007, because I stopped making them in 2006. Basically, it's the supermoto version of that. It's got exactly the same engine in it. That one has actually got an RS engine in it from a 2010. I've got the MX engine there. This is the engine that came in the MX. Obviously it's screwed, so the guy who I bought it off put an RS engine in it and modified the frame so he could have an electric start on it. So yeah, that's it. I've got an electric start MX because it's got an RS engine in it from a 2010. Now, I went back to Telford pretty much the day I made the last video. The 19th of December was the day I went back to Telford, and I stayed there till the 5th of January. So I had quite a few weeks over Christmas in Telford, and I took this bike, and while I was there, bought that bike. So I bought both back. Took that one with me in a van, and bought both of them back in a van. I went to Middlesbrough to pick this up, which from Telford is about 5 hours each way. So long journey to pick that up, but I got it at a relatively cheap price. Came with a bunch of spares. It's a brilliant second bike, really. It's got a few little spluttering issues, but I'm going to sort that out this weekend. But yeah, it's it's really good. Love supermotos. It's fun to wheelie. So yeah, love that. This, I get it to Telford, riding it around, and it starts making a weird noise. I assumed it's the clutch, so I took it apart. I've got a new clutch because do I have my old clutch over here? I think so. You'll have to excuse me. Yes, I do. Here's the old clutch. So as you can see, the ball bearing and the pressure plate is shot, and I thought that was the problem. So I got a new clutch anyway, and I've got a spare one in there. Put it in, started it up, it was still making the same noise. So I was like, for God's sake, it sounded like a diesel on overrun, basically. You'd rev it, it'd rev fine, and then on its way back down to the idling again, it'd sound horrible. So I took the top end off, and I will show you, I'll put some video footage in now of me moving the conrod, and I've got the crank over here. I'm not organised for this video, by the way. Oh crap! Plastics falling everywhere. So yeah, this isn't an organised video because I should have had the crank ready to roll. That actually isn't my crank. That's just a spare crank I have. Where's the one I took out of my bike? That's got to be it there. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. I can't find it anyway, but it's in this box somewhere. Okay, so here's the crank that was in my bike. Now, as you can see, the big end bearing is definitely gone there. There's so much play in it. So I was like, right, well, took the engine out. This was on a Monday, by the way. This was the Monday after Christmas. So I took the engine out of it. I took it apart, took the crank out of it, took all the bearings out of the gearbox and everything. And then, thankfully, some people on the RS Owners Club, they came down from Birmingham, and they gave me a new crank that had just been rebuilt. As you can see, it's got about 300 miles on it at the moment, because I have been running this bike, and you'll find out why. What actually happened to it and why the top end's off it. But as you can see, there is literally no play in that whatsoever, because I've done about 300 miles on the crank, so it's pretty new still. So yeah, completely rebuilt the bottom end, new crankshaft, all new bearings, new main bearings, new gearbox bearings, everything, new clutch. I used the same top end. Here's the piston that was in it. I think it was this one. Yeah, here's the piston that was in it. So, you know, this piston was in there since April, and I think it's in pretty good condition, to be fair. There's a bit of a scrape there. So yeah, I reused that. And the bike was fine. The bike was mint. It was literally mint. It was doing so well. And then what happened? Yeah, I came back here, and I was using the bike and everything, and I was going to work on it, and I was going to work on that some days, so this some days, and it was going good. I had 2 bikes, and then my ported barrel, and it arrived back from PJ after like 6 weeks for being replated. So I thought, yes, finally. So I stripped this last Tuesday, and it's Wednesday, like it was last Tuesday, and it's Wednesday today, so a week yesterday. I stripped this, took the barrel off, took the piston out, which was this one here, you know, the one I just showed you, put this piston in it, which is a single ring flat top Vertex, along with the ported barrel that had just been freshly replated, and a VHM flat top head, which is here. Okay, so that was all on. Started it, and it was amazing. It literally was amazing. It was lifting in first gear, pulling away. It was power wheeling in first. It was like, it was such a different bike. It felt as if it had a second power band kick in at 10,000 RPM, so it would go all the way to 8, and then you'd feel the power valve kick in, and then you'd feel like an extra power band kick in at 10,000 RPM because of the porting on the cylinder, and it was really good. But unfortunately, I didn't really run it in, so slap me now, everyone, slap me. I did about 3 or 4 heat cycles and did about 50 miles under 8,000 RPM, and then I just went mental on it. I was taking it to 14,000 in every gear. Basically, it seized after about 60 miles, and you can see the piston. It's a classic 4-corner seize. The spark plug's in my room, actually, upstairs, so I'll show you a picture of it now. And it was running too lean. It's either running too lean or the oil pump's failed, but because the oil pump on these very, very rarely fails, it looks like there's oil there, but obviously that wouldn't give you an indication if it's failed. So I need to look into that to see whether the oil pump has failed. But I think it was just running too lean because it had a too small of a main jet. It's got a one. This is my carb. It's a 34mm flat side. That's the normal 34mm, the plastic topped one that's on there. This is the metal topped one. This is the flat slide version. Much better carb. Running a 160 main jet and a 40 pilot, and it was running too lean. It was running fine before the ported top end, and with the porting you're supposed to down jet, not up jet. But for some weird reason mine was running too lean, probably because of the increased compression. With the flat top setup, these things are running at 14:1 compression ratio, which is as high as super unleaded petrol can actually be burnt before it starts self-detonating. So I might have had too much compression and not enough fuel going through to cool the extra heat that the compression was generating, and it seized. I took my bike out. It was on Friday. It seized. I took my bike out at lunch at work, and I didn't get very far. I got 5 miles away from my work, and it seized while I was doing about 45 miles an hour. There's a few theories that have been into it. There's a guy at my work who he used to race 125 two-stroke Hondas, the Honda RS 125, and he looked at my barrel and basically said it's just a classic. It's just a classic 4-corner seize. It's got too hot, and the cylinders cool down too quick. So you know, I was cruising at part throttle shut, and that's what the lack of oil is. But you know, there's a few theories into what could have gone wrong. But I've ordered. These arrived today actually. I've got a 162, a 165, a 168, and a 170 main jet. I'm going to start with a 170 and work my way down. So yeah, I've ordered a new piston. The top end, the ported top end and everything. That piston, the gaskets, the head, getting it replated. That whole thing cost me 500 quid altogether, and it lasted about 50 miles. So I'm lucky that I might get away with not having to replate the cylinder again, because that's 165 quid to replate it. So I bought a new piston and everything. That's cost me another 130 quid for the piston, the gaskets, and the jets. So, I've wasted a bit of money, and you learn your lessons. Whatever, I may run this one in a bit longer. But these things do happen when you start playing with two strokes, unfortunately. So that isn't the reason though why I haven't been making any videos. I've obviously had all that going on, but I lost my camera. When I went to Telford over the Christmas holiday between the 19th of December and the 5th of January, I actually left my camera in Telford, and I got the train down this weekend, up should I say, and I found it while I was there, so that's why I've now got my camera. And the reason why I'm not doing a proper motovlog is because obviously in the week all I'm doing is going to and from work, and I'm riding that, and it's extremely loud, and it's spluttering quite a lot as well. So maybe the weekend I'll do a motovlog on that once I sort the carb out, because I've got the 28 over here. Here we go. I've got the 28mm carb that was on my RS before I put the 34 flat slide on. So I'm going to put that on, because even though that's got a 34mm on it at the moment, the 34mm is completely screwed. Anyone who knows anything about the RS engine and 34mm carbs, that is running a 135 main jet. Now, you don't even have to know about that carb that's running a 160, that's running a 135. Okay, so massive difference. I don't even know how it's running, but it magically is. And it's spluttering quite a lot low end as well, so I have pinned the power valve open, so it is going to splutter a bit, and it looks like by the blackness there I need to change the exhaust gasket, but I think I've got one over here anyway. Do I? Yes, I do. Oh, bollocks. So yeah, piston number 3 to the pile. This one lasted 50 miles. This one lasted, no, probably about 5,000, and the first one, this one, but God knows how many miles that lasted, but that one was only running 100 psi compression. That poor thing got made and died after 50 miles. So yeah, there's a guy at my work who used to, I was saying earlier about the guy who used to race a Honda RS. He's going to put some HSO4 acid in my bore and see if he can get rid of the aluminium that the piston has left all over the bore, and see whether I can get away without a replate, because it doesn't look like it's actually taken the plating up. It looks like it's just left aluminium everywhere, so the acid will get rid of all that, and I'll hone it and see what I can do with it really. And my piston should be here Friday or something, so I'll get the barrel back maybe Monday after the weekend, and this might be back together Monday, hopefully. But it was so good to ride while it with that ported barrel on it. If anyone is thinking about porting, I'd recommend it so much. Motrack do a £100 porting service as well, so they do a lot of super team porting, so if you want to get your ports done, I'd recommend Motrack. The guy who ported mine does it as a sort of a hobby, and I don't know whether he wants so much work to do, so I'm not going to say him, but he did a great job on mine. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've just been rebuilding bikes, because second time I've had to rebuild that over the last month. But people will say, oh, it's an unreliable Aprilia, but I don't really care. I've got 2 of them. 2 unreliable bikes makes 1 reliable one, yeah. So hopefully we're probably going to have a bit of snow tomorrow, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful on the way to work riding this. And I'll put this carb on the weekend, change the exhaust gasket. Maybe I'll show you how to do that, maybe I won't, maybe I'll forget. The reason why I didn't show you guys how to rebuild the bottom end on that is because I literally couldn't be asked to record it. Sometimes you just want to get on with something and not have to worry about camera, and it was just literally one of them. I just sat there in my dad's unit and I just took the whole thing apart. Maybe I'll show you some pictures of the gearbox and stuff if you're curious. And just replaced everything, replaced all the bearings, replaced the crank, and I really enjoyed doing it. And it took me from Monday I took the engine out on Monday, and by Friday it was back in the bike, and the bike was running again, and I rode to Wolverhampton on the day I put it back in. So I was like, it started, and I was like, yes, I'm going to go to PJME now, because it was the first day they opened, the 2nd of Jan, and I just rode there on a freshly rebuilt engine, about 20 miles, and it was good. It all worked fine, and you get that sense of accomplishment when you take something apart and rebuild it yourself and it works, and that's what I really enjoy about two strokes, and especially this bike, because You know, you just get attached to it after you've taken it apart a few times. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's why I haven't made a video. I feel like a bit of a dick standing here talking to myself in the garage, hoping that no one can hear me. And, oh, is this the barrel that came off my bike? Was it this one? Was it this one? Was it this one? No, it was this one. So this was the barrel that was on my bike. There's a bit of mark in there. I think it might. This could be reused. I think. You should see the size of my inlet port on the ported ported cylinder. This is the standard inlet size, so you can see that there. Hopefully, the ported one, no joke, comes down to about here. I'll try and show you a picture of it if I've got a decent picture of the inlet, but it's at least twice as big, and the exhaust port is all nice and smooth and everything, and it's beautiful. It's a work of art, really. So yeah, that's it, pretty much it, guys. I'll try and get a motovlog on the MX at the weekend. Maybe try and record some wheelies. It's a bit hard to wheelie at the moment because the clutch cable did snap. I've got a brand new one over there, which I haven't fitted yet, and I've got an emergency clutch repair kit thing on it, so I can only do power wheelies at the moment. And because the power valve's pinned open, it's like splutter, and then the power valve kicks in, and then it just flies. So yeah, I've also got a full wiring loom here for my RS that I need to put on sometime. Probably should do it while the engine's like this, to be honest, but for God's sake. Stupid pieces of plastic. That's why you need a Supermoto. Talking about Supermotos, I've got a Supermo Fools hoodie here, which I wear over my leather jacket, and it's amazing. It actually keeps you really warm. It looks sick. Goes nice with the Icon variant with the mirrored visor. It looks a mint when you're on a Supermoto and you look at yourself in the reflection. You just think, yeah, I look completely badass right now. Yeah, other than that, this thing, other than obviously the top end, I need to get a new front tyre on it. I need new brake discs. I need, no, not a brake disc, new pads. And I need a new rear disc on this. So I've got quite a bit of money to spend on it. And in the last month I've spent over £1,000 on the engine. So, you know, I do throw a bit of money at this. Please don't come in here. Okay, thank you. I'm also buying a Jolly Moto expansion chamber and a Zealtronic programmable CDI unit in the programmer. And once I've got that, I'm going to get it dyno tuned, and hopefully I'll have 30 horsepower at the wheel, hoping. You see these dreamers out there that say they've got like 36 on their RS and stuff. It's a complete bullcrap. It literally is. A standard RS has only got about 24 brake horsepower at the wheel. They say 33, but that's at the crank. I'm hoping to have 30 at the wheel once I've got everything back together, and then I'm going to put a quick shifter on it. And I'll probably just leave it at that, to be honest. You know, I want to get the light and flywheel and an EGT sensor so I can see how hot it gets and stuff. But, you know, they're just little aftermarket things. And then in 2 months' time, I'm going to be able to do my A2, and I'll sell that and get a bigger Supermoto. Hopefully DRZ, WR450, WR400, something like that. Maybe even a KTM 690 if I can get it restricted. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I probably waffled on for way too long, but it needs to be done because I hate going on my channel every day and seeing the last upload a month ago. And we're just over 800 subscribers now, so hopefully if I start being more active we can hit 1,000. And once you hit 1,000 on a YouTube channel, it kind of just goes up a lot easier. You know, because obviously I've had a YouTube channel before. So yeah, that is pretty much it. If you're curious about the MX, just before we go, it's just literally completely standard 34mm carb arrow exhaust. That's it. Yeah, it's pretty good bike, to be honest. I quite like it. I've put these Pro Taper grips on it. It's got some Renthal bars on it. I need to sort the plastics out because they're carbon wrapped, so I will be taking the carbon off it, repainting it, putting a graphics kit on it, and yeah, and selling it probably to get a bigger Supermoto. But yeah, anyway, I'm actually going to go now, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you probably Sunday. Maybe I'll go out for a Sunday ride on that after sorting the carbon exhaust out, and I'll probably do another motovlog then. So yeah, I'll see you later. Goodbye.